Hello, everyone. We're Team Valer, and we worked with a startup Quip2 for the last year, designing to improve the mobile web app experience. And our team consists of myself, Jana Duenas, Sarah Palagy, Claire Johnson, Berkeley Rigsby, and our Quip2 sponsor, Ben Kirby.
So I'm going to give us just a brief project overview to recap on where we left off. So what is Quip2, you might ask? Well, Quip2 is an outdoor gear rental service, and you can see they kind of apply Airbnb's business model, allowing users to post their gear and rent from like people in their community. So it's kind of similar to how Airbnb works. And then on this next slide, you can see just an example screenshot of what it looks like to search and scroll through different just outdoor gear that people have posted in the community, and you can click on those and rent from there.
All right, so what's the design opportunity that we're addressing? So as we had our initial sponsor meetings with our sponsor Kirby, we found that Quip2's site is not optimized for mobile users, despite most of their traffic coming through a mobile device. And this in turn leads to low conversion rates for the company. So we narrowed down our project scope and found our problem statement, which is how might we improve Quip2's mobile experience? And we'll be improving the mobile experience specifically for new Quip2 renters.
So now that we have an idea of what our project scope is, I'll dive into our research process. To give a high-level overview, we employed various different research methods, which I'll go over now. We started with the heuristic analysis, moved on to Hotjar, a data analytics service, did some site mapping, created mockups based on these user research insights, and tested these mockups using concept testing. Our final design was created by iterating upon these testing concepts. So the first user research method we employed was heuristic analysis, which includes using a set of industry design standards to know areas for improvement. And to the right, you can see some of the most important heuristics we used to inform our designs, including freedom and control, flexibility and ease of use, and finally, consistency. And here you'll see an example of what this looked like for us. So each of us went through the site and noted specific areas which could be improved. This screenshot here shows that for these input fields, we wanted to remove the asterisks, which typically note necessary fields, but on this site was a bit confusing for users.
So our next piece of research that we were able to investigate was actually Quip2's Hotjar data analytics and recordings. So essentially, they gave us access to their Hotjar, and we were able to look into things like the heat map and actual user recordings as they navigated the website. We were able to look out for things like bugs, little mishaps, or points when like the experience was broken, and we were able to categorize these into mobile and web insights through a software called Miro, where we just compiled all of our findings and kind of organized them to make sense. And then we were actually able to apply our own design recommendations, which you can see an example of something in the next slide, just that we found. People just kept on clicking on these calendar icons, but they actually weren't clickable buttons, and this was pretty confusing for people. So our recommendation would be to make these clickable icons that would allow them to enter the dates once clicked upon. And another insight that we noticed was that people weren't really engaging with the home page. And so a big recommendation from us would be to make the homepage more focused, to include only content that is relevant to the users. And we think this will drive more conversions. So you'll see this is a pretty big priority for us in our mockups and ideation.
So the next piece of research that we did was site mapping. So after we narrowed down our scope to include the process from initial Google search to completed order, we did a site map of Quip2's web app to visualize these steps that the customer would take from initiation to completion. And using all of this research that we did, we created some initial mockups of 4 different concepts to test with users to see which would be the best option for new designs for these screens. And you can see here that we came up with these 4 concepts, which we then concept tested. And the team utilized an A/B concept testing method. This was to measure the success of our designs and also allow us to get insights to iterate to a final concept. Some of the key insights from the testing session included users enjoyed the map feature, as well as the how it works section. They also wanted to be able to easily search and edit with auto-filled search filters. Additionally, users liked being able to easily scan and compare pricing between listings, and most participants really only scanned heading level text from these screens. Lastly, users did enjoy the map, but they also wanted the flexibility of having both a map view and a list view to view different products on the screens. Based on these insights, we created a new mockup for our final designs as a combination of the best pieces of each of these concepts, and we used the general format of concepts 1 and 3 from the previous slide, as they were the most preferred options from our users.
Now I'll be walking us through our final designs that we mocked up in Figma. So here is our final product landing page. At the top, users gain clear, friendly wording as visual confirmation of their search process. We also have interactive card design where users can swipe to see a quick map view location. This is for their convenience. Since our user group is new Web2 renters, we also wanted to have a how it works section right below this so that they can familiarize themselves with Clip2's service. For our next final design, this is a product landing page map and list view. Users can easily switch between the list view that you see on the right and the map view that's on the left.
So for our final deliverables, we'll be delivering to Clip2 a research report that includes all of our research in more depth and highlights and takeaways. And we also have our design recommendations with our high fidelity mockups for a Clip2 web app. Thank you. Any questions?